Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Debate Amongst Friends. Happy Monday to you all. Wow, what a crazy ride, and I'm glad we was all part of it. I am the Professor John Guys, the King of RNG, the Troll Master Data Analyzing Ninja, the conqueror of my own fate, the cleaner, Professor Omega, and the wise man. Of the tribal chief, unfortunate, supposed to be the reigning, defending, undisputed Super Bowl champs, his Buccaneers. I'm so sorry, Doc.
No, I need to be sorry.
I'll finish the rest of the intro. I'll power it through for you. The man who didn't adopt the dark. He was born in it, molded by it. He didn't realize he was in the dark until he became a man.
Wow.
The tribal beast, Doc Leisner. Sir, how are you doing today?
I'm good, man. You saw me hang my flag up. Probably one of the best or at least top 5 Buccaneer games of all time. It was starting out really grim. And
Oh
then,
boy. It
yeah,
ended pretty grim too.
it did.
Well,
But
actually, the other game ended up really grim because now they're giving him a new nickname.
I feel like all the games ended up pretty grim. Grim. That was a great take. Grim Reapers all over the place.
Yep.
Let's start with Cincinnati, Tennessee, in which the Tennessee Titans just was destroying Joe Burrow. I mean, he was getting hit so many
The
times.
Tennessee defense did their job.
Yeah, they
I mean,
definitely
and I
did.
feel like this is the recurring theme in a lot of these games,
Something like that.
except for, of course, the last game.
Yeah,
But we'll
yeah.
get there. But I feel like that was a recurring theme, at least for the Saturday games. Like
Hmm.
the defense has done what they're supposed to do.
True.
And Doc mentioned this a few weeks back with the Buccaneers. Like the defense did their job,
No, absolutely.
but if the offense can't, do their job, then you're not going to be able to win a game. Like it's impossible to do that. The Titans got too cute. That's what
Hmm.
happened to them. They got cute.
Yeah, I would agree. I mean, I know we talked about this on Friday. Derrick
Mm-hmm.
Henry was going to be on a snap count watch, right? Um, still, he still got 20 carries, even though Foreman was running pretty well.
Mm-hmm.
Um, they only
They
ran
got
the
away from
ball.
what was working to
They
feed
only
in the
ran the
hype
ball,
of Derrick Henry.
which is kind of weird. They only ran the ball technically 24 times. 4 with Foreman, 20 with Henry, and that's not really Titan
They're
football.
exactly, which is why I said they
Uh,
got cute.
yeah, I didn't expect Ryan Tannehill to be throwing it as much and even having the opportunity to throw 3 picks.
Yep. I mean,
Uh,
I did had a quarterback throwing 3 picks, but this was definitely not
you
the one
did.
that I had.
You did. No, you did. You did say that. But nonetheless, I mean, AJ Brown, 5 catches, 142 yards.
Yep.
Julio Jones, 6 catches for 62 yards. Julio's production has gone down tremendously. But I don't know if it's Ryan
Yeah, but
Tannehill.
I
I don't
don't know
know
if
if it's
it's because
him.
of I don't know if it's because of that.
Yeah, so but the Bengals, I mean, they did the best they could here. I mean, Joe Mixon, I said he had to have a bigger game. He did have a really, really big
He
run.
had a very balanced game.
Yeah, big run though for the touchdown that they really needed.
Yep.
um, and I don't know. I feel like the Bengals just held in long enough to squeeze out a win, and then that last interception from Tannehill was just like, oh God,
Yep.
oh
Yep.
God. But a lot of people are questioning Tannehill's future with the team. I mean,
Questioning.
obviously,
People are already saying that he's not going to be part of the team next year. Questioning, he says.
but we'll have to wait and see. I mean, it's so rough. It's so rough. Is he a dominant quarterback? He has potential to be.
Yeah,
Um,
he always had the potential. I mean, of course, the stigma of his time in Miami didn't really help
no,
anything.
but I think you also have to keep in mind that he was always a wide receiver turned quarterback, right? And I think that transition, number one, was fantastic. But number two, I mean, it's been amazing that he's been playing so well all these years. But ultimately, they lost the game because they went away from the game plan, and they were winning most of the game, so there's really no excuse.
Nope.
Although Derrick Henry was getting, for the first time I've ever seen it, really beat up in the backfield. Um, I just felt like they went away from their game plan. But shout out to Cincinnati for really, having their defense. Like I said, they were prepared, they were
Yep.
ready.
Yep.
Um,
They
they
they they bottlenecked that run game.
they also did. One thing I noticed that none of them shied away from Derrick Henry
No,
like normal.
and
Like
you shouldn't,
normally,
and you
yeah.
shouldn't.
Well, you shouldn't, but normally people are terrified.
No, he just came back from injury. You got to
Yeah,
test it.
yeah.
You got to
But
test it.
the Bengals win to advance.
Kitty, what
Went
meow?
yeah, 19-16 on a interception in the last 30 seconds of the game. Joe Burrow moves the ball a little closer, and Money Mac
Yeah,
bangs home the field goal. McPherson bangs the field goal, 52-yarder to end the game.
and moved them to the AFC Championship game. We were just talking about the Bengals not having a playoff win,
Hmm.
and now they're in the AFC Championship game.
Right, right. But moving on here, we got the San Francisco 49ers headed to Green Bay, in which, a lot of people, oh my God, what's the forecast? It's going to be cold.
Yeah, it was definitely cold.
In which I mentioned that there would be no field goals over 35 yards. I think I might have been correct. Even Robbie Gold said it itself. He said,
Well, there was only the last one was over.
that's what I was about to say, but the last one, he mentioned that his foot on these type of games is going to be black and blue because of the cold. It's like kicking a rock. And I said that.
You did.
Uh, I don't think there'll be any long field goals because nobody wants to kick the rock that far. But to head to the next round, yeah, had to do it. What the bleep happened? I mean, we can skip most of this game. I mean, it was punt, 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 fumble, punt, 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 interception, field goal, punt, field goal, turnover on downs, blocked punt,
Yep.
punt, field goal.
Honestly,
Uh,
I mean, if I have to be honest with you, sir, special teams has been an issue all year for the Packers. We talked about
mm,
that. And on Saturday, the Packers offense, which has been absolutely dynamite and explosive,
hmm
was nowhere to be found.
I mean, they had some explosive plays, but nothing.
Nothing that led to 7 points
Yeah, I mean,
outside of
even
the first drive of the game.
I'm about to say, yeah, even that wheel route. Remember the wheel route
I
that we were
remember, Doc. I literally
laughing
texted
about?
it to you as soon as it happened. I'm like, look at that wheel right there, Doc.
Hmm. Just didn't work out. And I mean, Aaron Rodgers, 20 for 29, 225 yards, no
Hmm.
touchdowns, no picks. I mean,
Yeah,
Aaron
people
Jones.
are acting like he's completely at fault. Like he was nearly perfect on the field.
I mean, I would have thought Aaron Jones would have scored on that wheel route, but the ball was just a little underthrown,
Yeah.
I think. But I mean, all in all, I mean, no, the ball wasn't really spread out too much. You
Nope.
know, 9 receptions for Aaron Jones, 9 receptions for Davante Adams. And I mean, Aaron Jones ran 12 carries for 41 yards, and I don't think that's enough on a game like this where it's cold. You're winning most of the game. The 49ers aren't really giving you anything
Yeah,
offensively. Um,
yeah. They again went away from the run, which
hmm
they was able to really establish the last 4 weeks of the season, and heading in to the playoffs. I thought it's going to be cold. It was feeling like it was -3 degrees after a while. I believe around the fourth quarter they were saying like it's around -4 degrees out there. So I thought they would have just been running the ball, but I mean, this is on the offensive coordinator and this is on the special teams coach, and the special teams coach probably won't be there next year.
mm
There's a lot that's not going to be there next year.
I mean, well,
Um,
let's talk about that. I mean, we got the question about Aaron Rodgers, of course, who's disappointed, expected to not be having this discussion so early. You got Davante Adams.
mhm.
Um, and then we saw a post about one of them Smith boys.
Yes, Zadarius
Um,
saying thank
so,
you, Green Bay.
which is very what they would call cryptic.
It's always cryptic. It's always cryptic. But they have a lot of questions to answer. Their salary situation isn't good. There's a lot of there's two teams that has lost who has pretty bad salary situations actually.
Yeah. Um, but we'll have to wait and see. I mean, what happens to Green Bay? This is the second, maybe third, really, really bad loss at this round, whether this round or the next round.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah,
we have to
and
wait and
and
see
and
what.
no Kaepernicking to to blame for this.
Oh no, they just lost this one.
Yeah,
But moving on to Sunday's game, we said these were all going to be good games, right?
yeah, and it
And
was.
then
I
they
mean, I
were,
felt like Saturday we had all the great defensive games. Now we had all the good offensive games.
and it happened to be L.A. Rams versus the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. My Tampa Bay Buccaneers, which, like I said, happens to be top five game I've ever seen. Made me proud to be a fan. I hung my flag and my banner up proudly. But I mean, think nothing about it. I mean, Matthew Stafford dominated us 28 for 38, 366, two touchdowns.
Yep.
Cam Akers did not run the ball well, 24 carries for 48 yards. Cooper Cup had the
Two
big catch
wait,
at
hold
the
on.
end.
Two
Oh,
fumbles
I was
and
gonna
two
get there.
fumbles lost too.
Yeah, two fumbles lost. Cooper Cup 9 carries, 183 yards, including a dagger at the end. Odell Beckham had some fantastic catches, one-handed catches across the middle. I mean, it was catch, 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 catch. And then like the defense was all over us. One, two, three. Yeah, it only shows 3 sacks, but it
It
seemed
felt
like
like it was a lot more.
a billion.
Tom Brady was definitely under duress.
But obviously they jumped out to so many leads. It was
Hmm.
10-3, 23, 27-3. And of course, the memes came out, right? The
The
memes,
27-3
27-3.
beams.
Yeah, 27-3. But the Bucks never gave up. That's one thing I'll give them credit for. They never gave up. Tom kept looking at his service tablet, not throwing it down, not throwing it to the back,
No,
not
because
smashing
there
it.
was the thing is there was plenty of time still.
I mean, it didn't seem like it at the time. I think when you were in it, you're like, "What the heck is going on?" Like it was 27-13, and Tom just got strip sacked in the beginning of the fourth quarter.
Yep.
And we're sitting there like, "What the absolute bleep?" But somebody said, "Oh, this game is rigged." I said, "Well, I would like it for it to be rigged. If they're claiming this to be rigged, let it be rigged, and I want to see a comeback victory." And then somebody said, "Oh, the Bucks are getting everything that they want or everything that
They
they need," and I'm just like,
this and this is why what Doc and I have a huge issue with. People are just looking at things so biasly and
"Yeah,"
not objectively. Like they're not
and I'm
looking
like,
at the full game
I'm like,
at
"What are
all.
you?" I'm like, "What are you looking at?" Because I mean, we're getting destroyed. I seen Mike Evans get hit as a defenseless receiver. I said
Mm-hmm.
if it was rigged, that would be first down, first and goal for the Bucks. Okay, if it was rigged, Tom Brady wouldn't have a busted lip. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's rigged.
Of
But
course,
Tom
those
Brady
memes
30,
came out. This whole game ended up just being a bunch of memes.
yeah. But of course, Tom Brady 30 for
No one,
54,
no one makes me,
329.
no one makes me bleed my own blood.
Right. 30 for 54, 329, one touchdown, one pick. Leonard Fournette, 13 carries, 51 yards, two big touchdowns.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, and then the real story here, Mike Evans, another, 8 receptions, 119 yards, one long touchdown on Jalen Ramsey, which, I mean, you want to talk about standing for joy. I was like, oh my God, like he beat Jalen Ramsey deep. Like,
Yep.
oh my goodness. But I mean, we did have 2 sacks of our own, and really, I mean, some things were costly on the Rams, sure, but that had nothing to do with us. I mean, that was the weirdest snap I've ever seen. Like, I've
The
never
one
seen
that
a
went
snap.
overhead. Yeah.
I didn't think it went over his head. It went like it just went by him, like with like the speed of light. It was like to
Ole.
infinity and beyond. It was like to infinity and beyond. And yeah, I don't know. I've never seen a snap go back that fast and that far. It went back really far. But Tom let it come back. We tied it up 27-27, and I mean,
Then the defense, you know,
gave up
the
a
Achilles
long
heel of
time.
that defense that we kept talking about all season long, which was the secondary.
Yeah.
I mean, I know everyone want to get on Todd Bowles' defensive strategy, but the problem was, I mean, Winfield just got beat bad.
Well, they're saying that it was a miscommunication between the secondary. That's what he's saying, which makes sense because I mean, I don't think the middle of the field should have been that open, but because
I agree.
you seen what happened earlier. Cooper Cup beat us earlier for a long touchdown, and there definitely was some miscommunication on that one. So by the look of it, it looked like Winfield was not even in position to be back there. So I'm thinking that based on what I seen, it looked like somebody else maybe was supposed to be there. But tomato, tomato. Matt Gay goes ahead and you know tells Tampa, you know, screw you. Hey. But now all the questions lie. I mean, obviously Tampa Bay is not in the greatest cap situation,
Nope.
and we have to see what happens with Tom. Tom's very non-committal about his future. Um, you got
Yeah,
to
even
sign
though
back.
people are sitting there just throwing stuff at the wall and hoping it's sticking, like it's ridiculous, folks.
Oh yeah. I mean, you got Leonard Fournette to sign back, Gronk.
Yep.
I mean, OJ's a free agent. You got um, what's his name? Carlton Davis, Mike Edwards, just to name a few. Sue,
Yep.
JPP. It's a lot of people that would need to be resigned.
Correct.
Obviously, Chris Godwin, um,
You
as
got to
I'm
see what's
sure
going to
too.
happen with
But
him, though.
yeah, I'm hoping that honestly, I want Chris back. I think obviously you know, Mike did great. Don't get me wrong. Mike did
Yeah.
really good. But that second receiver slot, which Chris usually holds, obviously Chris dominated at it. And then of course Antonio Brown. I just don't think some of the other guys are just ready to step up just yet.
No, this was
It's
the game for them to step up. And they had ample opportunity to do something, especially towards
hmm
the end of the game. Unfortunately, if Tabos do get hired as a head coach, I mean, this is the lasting impression with the Buccaneers that
Yeah,
he's going to have, unfortunately.
yeah.
Um,
I mean, and he's
I don't think that's fair, in my opinion. But
yeah, no
unfortunately, that's
risk,
kind of the way the cookie crumbles.
but that's that no risk and no biscuit. So I mean,
Exactly.
it can't hold anything back. Potentially
Nope.
last game of the season.
I
And then
mean,
we got
speaking of last game of the season, this last game of the divisional round, Doc.
yeah,
I
big.
mean,
I mean,
heavyweight
heavyweight.
fight.
Yeah, the heavyweight fight. We got the Bills, we got the Chiefs. Um, I mean, it was exactly what we expected.
Hmm.
Josh Allen saying, Patrick Mahomes, I'm not scared. I'm not afraid. I won't go down easy. The Bills defense, I mentioned it. I said the Bills defense, I felt that they were going to give Mahomes an issue. I said he wasn't challenged last week. I said the Bills Mafia was going to challenge him a little bit. They didn't
No.
too much. But I mean,
I mean, but we
the
could say that for both teams, honestly.
true, very true. Josh Allen, 27, 37, 329, 4 touchdowns, 11 carries for 68 yards. Really trying to will his team to victory.
I mean, this
I mean,
game, 974 yards combined of offense.
Gabriel Davis, 8 catches, 201 yards,
Yeah.
4 touchdowns. I
Well,
mean,
you know what? And this is kind of what we always talk about, with the defense, try to take away your best player. Someone else needs to step
mhm,
up and Gabriel Davis. I mean, it's literally trying to earn that bonus.
right. I mean, Stephon Diggs, even though he was targeted 6 times, only 3 receptions for 7 yards.
Hmm.
Nothing really going on there. The Bills got 2 sacks, probably a couple pressures on Mahomes, always moving him off the spot, of course. But I mean, really, the story apparently is about the post conference, the Grim Reaper, right? Patrick Mahomes, 33 for 44, 378, 3 touchdowns, 0 picks, 7 carries, 69 yards, 1 tutty. But see, Clyde Edwards-Helaire, 7 carries, 60 yards. McKinnon had 10 carries for 24 yards.
Yep.
Um, I mean, when I look at it, obviously the normal suspects, Tyreek Hill, 13 targets, 11 receptions, 150 yards, 1 touchdown. Seemed like he was running forever. Um, like it just seems like he was just racking them up, um, yakking them up,
He was
racking them and
he was yakking
yakking,
it up. Exactly.
racking,
Racking
yakking.
yak.
Travis Kelce, 9 catches, nine targets, eight
Eight
catches for
receptions.
96 yards, 1 touchdown, and of course the EFL legend Brian Pringle, 5 catches for 29 yards and a touchdown. Um, I mean,
I mean, at the end of the game, especially heading into overtime, you knew
yeah,
who the ball was going to.
true.
You knew it.
Yeah,
I knew it, and the people out there knew it.
I mean, it's just so rough.
It was
It's just so
literally nothing
rough.
anyone could have done. And of course, the controversy or lack thereof after the game, people are talking about, oh, they need to change the overtime rule. The Bills needed a chance to do it. Stop it.
You want them to stop
Stop
it?
it. Stop it.
You want them to stop it?
Yes, they need to stop it. They just
I
wanted,
mean,
you know how in wrestling, the fans always chant "Fight forever." That's what they wanted. They wanted this game to go on forever and ever and
ooh,
ever.
honestly, anything could have happened. Luckily, first of all, the fact that the Bills kicked the field goal means they did have a chance
Hmm.
in the game. They just blew it. Because you had to score. Like I wouldn't have went for the field goal personally. I would have just tried. I just went for the game because the defense hasn't stopped anything.
Nope.
So, um,
And again, it's not so much as for them. Like both defenses were tired in the fourth quarter.
hmm
Like how many points were scored in the last minute or so?
there's a lot. The fact that they let Tyreek Hill get that score, which looked just like Cooper Cup's touchdown,
Yep.
honestly. And in that last possession in overtime, I don't know if that was a wheel route. It looked kind of like a fade route. I don't know why they had a linebacker out there in space with him.
Hmm.
didn't really make any sense because he was. I mean, I'm just trying to catch it really quickly here. He's lined up in the slot.
Yep.
Yeah, it doesn't really make any sense why he's out there alone. But Chiefs win.
Chiefs
Chiefs win,
win, and now Patrick Mahomes is forever known as the Grim Reaper
which I don't understand why. I mean, I don't know
because
why
of
Andy would say that.
Andy. Well, Andy Reid said something, and of course, the internet and the media just took that and ate that up. That how that is, man. All it takes
Yeah.
is a small little thing. I mean,
Well,
come on.
I mean, he said the Super Bowl was like a chocolate cake too. So I
I mean,
mean,
there was a great quote that someone said after the game about the whole overtime thing, and I'm gonna read it real quickly because I know we
sure, sure,
are
sure.
gonna have to clock it real quickly.
Yep, yep.
Here's what he said. If you don't want fate to be decided by a coin toss, don't give up two passes for 45 yards with 13 seconds left.
I mean, that's that's what happened to the Bucks. It wasn't even two passes; it was
It
one.
was one. No, it was two.
Yeah,
It was two.
it felt like one.
It was both of them to Cooper Cup. That's why it feels like one. But yes.
Yeah, it was really bad actually.
But I mean, the future of quarterbacking is awesome.
Oh yeah,
It's awesome.
that I can agree. I guess the question is who's going to reign supreme. You know what I'm saying? Who's going to reign supreme? So
Well, so
we'll
far,
have to
people
wait
are
and see.
saying it's Patrick Mahomes. I mean, Josh Allen's right there at his heels. Another heartbreaking loss, but I feel like next season might be a thing.
Hmm. We'll see. I mean, and you also have Joe Burrow who's coming to town, right?
And Joe Burrow. We also have Justin Herbert. People are
Which
throwing. This is what someone says. And I want your quick take on this one because we have about
2
three of them
minutes.
left. The Mahomes, Allen, Herbert, Burrow, Lamar era is going to be way better than the Brady, Manning, Ben, Rivers era in the AFC. The fun
I'm
factor just isn't even comparable.
I would say the fun factor isn't comparable, but I'm not 100% sold on Lamar because he's not the passer. You know, if if they would let him just throw the ball, I think they would be a lot better. But I mean, we'll have to wait and see. The jury's still out on Lamar now. I mean, injured, but I know he can throw it. But I wish they would just allow him to throw it. But as far as the statement goes, I agree with it. Um, it was just so much talent with Peyton and them. Like it was just so much talent. Those battles were amazing. But I think the battles that we're gonna see moving forward, it's gonna be amazing. That's why I'm actually looking forward to Tom retiring, Aaron retiring. I'm glad Drew retired. Um, I mean, that's it. That's it. But Johnny, I know that people heard this podcast on their favorite podcast platform, but if they didn't, they can always go to our website at www.debateamongstfriends.com to review this episode as well as all the previous. Be sure to tune in tomorrow as we go over more news, more analysis, and the reads.